$42 a month. You can do it too. It only takes a couple minutes.
Right, we're back for another stream. We're going to be working on Misty Mountain tutorial once again, and luckily at the end of last stream we started making a little progress. So we're going to polish this part up. And just going with the flow. So this is the dirt block, and I think what I wanted to do is make these all a little bigger. Let's just go with like 50, I guess. And 50. And I thought it would be a good idea if we had more information. So I'm going to duplicate this. Just bring it up a little bit. And everything's going to be the same, except I want to say some different stuff. Like, we're going to get rid of the color here, so it's white. We can bold it, make it a little different. And potentially, I want to say like left click. Let's try that. And for this, I can make it go a little higher with just having like 0.5 on it. And so let's put one of these on top of everything. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to take the visibility on this and bring it really small, like 2. So that just pops up in your face when you get close to the block. Let's just have like 1.5. See how that works? Left click. Boom, left click. So we need to put one of these with each of the blocks. So I'll position one right on top of each one. Welcome, Wicked. Welcome into chat. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing amazing today. Wow. I'm way off today with my spatial awareness. Plugging away on the Misty Mountain tutorial. Luckily, we made a little progress at the end of last stream, so we're going to polish this section up a little bit. And then continue. Was that the last one? I feel like I'm missing one, but actually that was the last one. So Denda needs to have animations for when he's talking and sound effects. Oh, I forgot to check. I think Trollers is good. It's still open from last time. Booyah! So Den is going to have animations on him. Actually, I don't think he has any animations for this other than walking and running, which is okay. So I guess we don't need an animation. I don't want to change anything right now with like assets or anything. But potentially maybe someday we can have talking on Den. We'll just have him idle away. So I guess we don't really need sound effects because I'm not using speakers. The askers have their own little sound effect thing. I don't want to overdo that. And also the sound is kind of goofy, kind of funny sounding, really squeaky. The only thing I can find, and that is on Steel Braze at the intro. We'll just leave it there for now. So how about any VFX? Oh, we can have a VFX happen. That kind of a VFX and a sound effect to like, well, the quest does the sound effect. So let's just have the VFX back up the sound on the quest. Yeah, Dave Rexroach would definitely do all those changes for us, but I've asked Dave to do so much for me and then like not use the asset that I don't know. I feel like we have enough stuff right now that we don't need to be changing stuff, but I'm sure Dave would change it if I asked him, or Bruno asked him for sure, no problem. He'd be like, yeah, I'll change that for sure. He would definitely change that for me. Oops, that's not what I want. I would not attempt it. I would never do it personally, no. I don't touch Fox Edit assets unless I'm making something very simple. I don't have patience for being an artist very often. Point of interest? Let's see here. What should I use here? Feedback. We'll probably just use feedback, maybe. Common feedback. It's not enabled at start. It gets turned on with tutorial.4, I'm pretty sure. Tutorial 4 is what turns everything on, so it's also going to hit those VFX. Wait, let me make sure. Enable that start false, turn on, boom. They're on top of each other, play. So yeah, just like that. Something really simple, clean, just like, and then the words will pop off. Alright, so then you go and you mine something, and then you need to pick something up. So once something gets mined, whether it be an educational resource or any of the resources in the loot table, Denda needs to hop in again and be like, yo, I see that whatever you got out of that rock, you need to press E to pick it up. So maybe I need ChatGPT again here to do a script for the framework, and we can always go back and change it. Alright, so let me see here. Steel Braids versus Kuzu. Alright, so this is the chat that's been given us the script so far, and I'm just going to talk to it for a minute, and we'll have a script for the rest. So, after the player breaks their first block, there is going to be a resource that drops. When that happens, I want Den to hop in and continue the tutorial. First, we will talk about how something just dropped, and the player needs to press E to, press E to pick it up. I want Den to also mention how much pickaxe health each block takes at this time, the player will notice their pickaxe health has gone down, and sand costs 10 pickaxe health. Dirt costs 20 pH. Clay costs 30 pH. Gravel costs 60 pH. And stone costs 120 pH. Oh, is he Santa? We don't know if it's going to be shiny or not. He gestures wildly. Like yesterday's stew. ChatGPT just always tries just a little too hard. Now, while you're swinging that axe, you might have noticed something else. Your pickaxe health taking a wee tumble. He points towards the UI as if he can see it. It might be interesting to put that in since I can't do it. Like, this is what I would like to do, but each swing costs you a bit of that pickaxe soul, you see? And here's a bite-sized numbers for your noggin. I'm putting all of this in. Bruno can change it if he wants. Makes me laugh, the player. It'll make the player laugh, probably. Or just be like, this is pure ChatGPT. A fate worse than socks and boots. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna edit out some stuff, but... Okay, now I need to figure out a good message to do this and keep it going. So here are the askers. And we're just going to continue the line of askers after something drops. So yesterday I was struggling with putting the rules together. And I think that I should probably put together a true-false to make sure that we're not checking like 30 messages every time throughout the whole game just for the tutorial. Probably is heavy on the system. So I'm gonna put together like a true false at the beginning or the tutorial, I think, variable. Because there's going to be a lot of potential. Well, I guess not. We can just use this yes, too, because if we get a yes, we know something's going to drop. So I can preemptively just use this yes message instead of using every message that can come out of the drop, because that's a lot. That's 5 times 6 messages. That's 30 messages. So yeah, that's not smart. What would be smarter is to just use this message and pop up an asker probably after you break a block. So this is getting sent to objectives. I can use the dun.0. I can use this message completion tutorial 1. So that's going to finish the quest. I guess we can get another quest going. Alright, just keep things simple. Let's just stay on this track. If I notice things slowing down, I can very easily put a false in. But, let's just use this for now. So I'm going to use this message. Completion tutorial 1. And I need a tag den0. den.0. So it's going to get changed to tutorial.5. And this one is going to get changed to oh yeah, completion dot tutorial .1. Alright, so after a block is destroyed, we're popping up another asker. And it's going to say something like this. Oh ho, look at that. Something popped out of that stone. Your first resource. I'm going to delete all of this. Resource. Ho ho, look at that. Something popped out of that one. Your first resource. Go on, don't just gawk at it. Press E to scoop it up. Can't mine a fortune if you leave it on the floor like yesterday's stew. And then tutorial 5 happens. Should he just keep on going, or should he tell you about it? Or should he keep talking, or should he wait for you to pick up the resource? So the trouble I have is you don't have to pick up the resource then. You could run away from him. Which I guess you could do that anyway at any point. I was going to build like invisible walls and stuff, but we'll just see how it goes. I don't know. Keep it simple. I'm going to keep talking for now. We're just going to keep talking. So this will say tutorial 5, because this is the last time I'm going to talk to the player for the tutorial. I'm going to send them off on their merry way, and I'm going to say, you can come meet me at my house, which is at the entrance. Tutorial 5, so this is the next thing he says. Oh shit, I just did that again. When I click off, it keeps saying, we're going to reset everything over here. Now, while you were swinging that axe, you might have noticed something else. Your pickaxe health taking a wee tumble. He points toward the UI as if he can see it. I kind of want to keep that in because it's like it just like helps the player realize what we're talking about. I'm gonna get rid of this part. We will say tutorial.6. Wait a second. Okay. Tutorial 6, okay. So we have tutorial.6. And then this one will say tutorial.7. I'm going with more with like a word vomit tutorial in this one. Let's see how many characters we can fit. We're gonna have to get rid of Den lists it out on his fingers one by one. So I'm debating if he should tell you about Ojul right now or not, because you just mined one block. You don't really need to talk about buying more pickaxe health until you're much lower. Or until you hit 0, which might make sense with a true false there. I'll just leave it here for now. I'll just leave it here for now. This is enough words. So I want Den to ask the player to meet him at his home outside the cave's entrance when the player is ready for quests, more info, the next steps, stuff like that. Alright, so we want to say one more thing here. So tutorial.7, and then we're going to say tutorial.8. So we're not going to want Den to disappear here. We're going to want him to disappear after like tutorial 8. Probably something more like that. And we'll do it more magically with like a VFX first or something. But for now, let's just do that. And hopefully I can sign it off with one more asker here. Okay. When you've had your fill of smacking rocks and you feel ready for some real work, the kind that digs deeper than any pickaxes ever could, come find me. He points toward the misty opening where a crooked wooden sign... No. I've got a wee home. I've got a wee home just outside the cave entrance. Cozy spot. Smells like soup and stone dust. And then boom, done. Okay, so let's take this. It's not gonna get deleted yet. And we'll make it like visual FX. And feedback maybe? Again? But this time we'll do like feedback yellow boom, feedback legendary. Just do feedback legendary. No, that's not good enough. What's the yellow boom feedback? Okay. Is there anything for like teleport? Teleport out? I don't see it. Yellow square feedback, what's that? Oh, okay. Death. Sure, we'll use that though. It's actually pretty good. Enable that start false. Turn on tutorial 8, yeah. So one thing I did forget to do is use quest indicators. That so let's see here. If I go to, I guess we'll just use the bottom one. So let's grab all these bottoms. Edit logic? Oh, wait. Not this one, not this one. Thank goodness. Quest objectives. This is the quest objective for break a block. Alright, I'm ready for a test, I think. Let's go in for a test. Okay. We've been through all this. That's what we did last stream. Bruno also saw that spot. Boom! That was beautiful. That was nice. That was good. I liked that. We don't actually have to destroy those blocks for the quest. You can destroy any block. Okay, yes. Beautiful! Yes, let's go, baby! And now we should probably have the quest that tells us to pick it up, and then we pick it up. Boom, that quest will finish, and we're on our merry way. At some point, we are going to open up an Ojal quest when we need to buy some pickaxe health. Denden's gonna have a quest that is gonna send us up to the city. We're in a real good spot. That was cool. Jeez. I haven't done any optimization on this map yet, which there's like lots of bats and stuff flying around that I've gotten rid of in the other ones. Most of them are in the main gallery flying around, I think. Oh, and all these little bugs moving around, they're like citizens. So I've gotten rid of all of those. It really makes the map a lot heavier, them all walking around and figuring out their pathing. And then you can see all the bats flying around. Zero optimization so far. Hey, Blue Tulip, that sounds fun. I've been thinking of starting my own little grow tent in my basement, but I haven't gotten around to it ever. It's way too hot around me to grow certain stuff. I've tried a few times. But yes, I always appreciate everybody lurking, hanging out, dropping into chat, just being around, watching me in the future. Homegrown's the best though? Well, I might need some advice. And I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Over the summer, we usually just grow like tomatoes and cucumbers and it's like garden stuff. We got some peppers this year. My son brought home some radishes. We got some radishes. We got some mini carrots. But none of the good stuff. Yeah. Cool. Well, that was really good. So what's the next step here? We have a quest for picking up the object. The quest for picking up the object. That might be a little trickier. There's just so many messages going in. Let's see. Is it... There's just so many messages that go in. So collect sand through stone, and then every resource. So we definitely need a true false for that. Nazman, what's up? Because I don't want it checking everything every time. Just want it checking one thing and then go in to check the rest. Do I have to have a quest for it? What's the message after you collect? It's like... Let's just follow one of these through that. Wait, you don't always get paid, though. You don't always get paid, because sometimes you're just collecting normal resources. I could have the quest be like... Collect a resource worth masters. That could be the quest. Okay, so let's say we collect copper. What happens? What's receiving? What's receiving? Collect copper. Some math. Nothing. So I would have to use the collect messages for all of it. Whatever, let's just rip the band-aid off. I got like 13 minutes. I probably have enough time to do it. Let's just do it. So there's going to be a quest. I think it would be best if we had a quest that popped up that finished off this little thing. That's the quest is telling you to collect the resource that you mined out. Just to finish it off. So we'll have a quest called Collect the Resource. And it's going to be press E to collect mined resources. Something like that. It's going to unlock right away. That message, and then we're gonna require a message to launch. And that is going to be launch. I've got 10 minutes left in my stream, okay?
I've got some ramen, okay?
Sounds good.
Not a Coke or a Fanta.
You could have one today. What messages am I using here? These messages are getting... Launch tutorial. So we're gonna wait for a message, and it's going to be message dot. We'll just use that, and my messages are getting a little messy. It's gonna autocomplete, and I'm not gonna send anything for now unless I want to later, I guess. Alright, so we need to daisy chain messages over into the objectives to make this stuff happen. To the game board. And so let's go to our general quest board. And I also, for sure, going to make a true false, and we'll call this true false. Everything's global for this one, and it's going to be called, we'll just call it tutorial.0 in case I want to make more. Alright, so first of all, I want to edit a true false value, and we'll just figure this out quick. And we're going to be manipulating tutorial 0, and when the message tutorial.skip, yes. When tutorial skip comes through, we're going to change this to true. And when message.tutorial.0 comes through, we can change this to true, I think. Alright, so now I need a if else. And we will go when message dot, we'll do message.tutorial.0 dot check. When that message comes through, we will say, when that message comes through, we'll check this variable that we just made. And when it's false, that's when it sends the message. I'm actually going to have to do another daisy chain, I think. So I'm going to do now, because I'm pretty sure that I need to send a message directly into the objectives, and the only thing I can do that with is the send message. So we're going to send message into the objectives, and so this is actually where the... oh, fuck. Message.tutorial.0. That's when this one comes out. If we get a .0.now out. So where does this check message come from? Actually. How's this gonna work? I'm trying to alleviate like the amount of messages that check something every time, but I don't think I can. I have to check them every time. Hopefully it doesn't make anything heavier on the back end, but I'm gonna have to do something like this for this to work. You can always just delete them. Delete the quests, you know, just delete them. But we'll say like, so I have to do all the collect messages. Collect sand. That's what's gonna send, what can I keep it in the rules, and that's what's gonna send this .0.check off. So yeah, the system's still checking all of these every time. Oh well, let's see what happens. I guess. Collect dirt. Collect clay. Oops. Collect clay. Collect gravel. Collect stone. You're not going to have access to magma at this time, probably, so... Unless you're acting goofy. Well, no, because you'll have to skip the tutorial. And then just never finish the tutorial. Collect coal. Collect iron. Hopefully I can remember all these off the top of my head. Collect copper. Collect silver. Collect gold. Collect emerald. Collect sapphire. Collect ruby. Collect diamond white. Collect diamond blue. You couldn't get the red out of these ones. So that's what I would have to do for this. So every time you're mining, all these, well, I guess just every time you're just sending one extra. It's only going to check one of these. It shouldn't be too bad. And then it'll stop here if it can't go through, which I didn't really need to do this, I guess. So it's trying to alleviate. Whatever. Alright, time for one last test, and it's time to sign off for the day. This might work, it might not. Hopefully it does. Fingers crossed. So then we have a very good opportunity to do whatever we want with Den Den, quest-wise, where we want to send him, and I'll ponder on how we're going to start the Ojil quests. I should put a speaker on him so he looks at you. Oh no, the camera's bouncing. It's awful. Alright, no quest. No quest. quest didn't launch because I didn't send a message to launch it. So we'll just fix that quick. Good stretch. Come on, Sandbox. Alright, so I forgot to launch the quest. I need to have a message when we hear tutorial.8, I think. Then we're gonna say launch dot tutorial.01. That's how it gets launched. Okay, fingers crossed. This is our last try. Okay. Forgot to put speaker on them, but I still think that's a good idea. So I should probably start the quest right away. But yeah. Boom. Thank goodness. Yes, let's go, baby. Alright, everybody. Much love. I appreciate you. It's time to make my children lunch. I do want to stay more consistent on my Sandbox project, so maybe you'll see me more days during the week. Just like random times. Hopefully. And so Panda Pops literally just went live. She just went live. And I'm gonna go make some lunch for the kiddos. Whoops, did I raid the wrong person? Yeah. I forgot to put the 90. Hey, there we go. Alright, everybody, much love. I appreciate you. It was a good game today. And I'll see you later.